Once a rising star of comedy, Patrick Kielty captivated audiences with a mix of sharp wit, political insight, and deeply personal humor. From Belfast stages to national television, he was a man who could make people laugh while confronting some of life's heaviest truths. But in recent years, something has shifted. Patrick, once bold and outspoken, now often appears more distant, his public moments tinged with tension, missteps, or quiet withdrawal. Fans and critics alike have wondered why someone so full of energy and charisma seems harder to reach. What caused this transformation? How did a comedian who once risked everything, emotionally and professionally, become someone navigating a new, quieter reality? From career shakeups to personal crossroads, this is the untold story of Patrick Kielty, a man who loved boldly, worked tirelessly, and now faces a chapter of life that has left him more isolated than ever. The story begins with a single impulsive text message. In 2012, Patrick Kielty showed the world just how far he was willing to go for love. Kat Deely, the British television personality turned American star, mentioned casually that she would be celebrating her birthday with a lunch at the Beverly Hills Hotel. Patrick was in Belfast. But when she spoke of her plans, he did something most would never dare. He booked a transatlantic flight on a whim. At 5 a.m., he left for the airport, flew to London, then on to Los Angeles, and arrived just in time to join her birthday lunch. It was a bold, almost cinematic gesture that captured the imagination of the public and transformed a long-standing friendship into a romantic partnership. Their wedding later that year in September 2012 was an intimate and dreamy affair in Rome. For the outside world, the couple seemed like a perfect pairing. Patrick, the Northern Irish comedian known for his clever, politically minded humor. Kat, the charismatic television star beloved on both sides of the Atlantic. Together, they represented a blend of humor, heart, and glamour. Life in California appeared idyllic. Patrick continued to perform stand-up, host documentaries, and work in broadcasting, maintaining a quieter profile compared to Kat, whose hosting of So You Think You Can Dance turned her into a household name in the U.S. Their sons, Milo and James Patrick, became the center of their world, and for over a decade, the family seemed firmly grounded in love, career, and the sunny West Coast lifestyle. Yet even in the most perfect love stories, small fissures can appear. Patrick later reflected on the serendipity of their meeting. Unless someone was stupid enough to get on a plane, nothing would have happened. At the time, the impulsive journey was romantic, spontaneous, and transformative. It demonstrated Patrick's willingness to take risks for love and set the tone for a life marked by bold gestures and heartfelt decisions. But as years passed, the very distances they once defied would begin to reappear, not across oceans, but between two lives once intertwined. After more than a decade in Los Angeles, Patrick and Kat decided to return to the UK in 2020. On the surface, this seemed like a homecoming, a chance to reconnect with family, roots, and familiar surroundings. But beneath that move lay subtle shifts that would quietly reshape their relationship. Kat Deely's career immediately flourished. By 2024, she had joined This Morning as a permanent presenter alongside Ben Shepherd, stepping back into the UK television spotlight with renewed energy and visibility. Her schedule became packed, her presence unavoidable in the public eye, with billboards and screens across London reflecting her return. Meanwhile, Patrick's path diverged. Choosing to root himself in Ireland, he became the host of RTÉ's The Late Late Show in 2023, while maintaining a steady presence on BBC Radio 5 Live. The result was two parallel worlds. Though both were thriving professionally, they lived hundreds of miles apart. Patrick in Dublin and Belfast, Kat in London. Shared home life became increasingly rare. Parenting moments, red carpets, and rehearsals occupied different rhythms in separate cities. While their children remained a central bond, the couple's day-to-day interactions diminished. The physical separation mirrored a deeper emotional drift, quietly growing without public acknowledgement. What was once a story of bold gestures and unity now resembled two careers moving in different directions. The distances they once conquered together were now reflected in their personal lives. Patrick's humor and charm remained intact in public, but the private reality was one of growing separation, a subtle tension that slowly defined their later years together. In late 2024, Patrick and Kat officially announced their separation. They emphasized that there was no other party involved and expressed their commitment to co-parenting their children lovingly. "We have taken the decision to end our marriage and are now separated. We will continue to be united as loving parents to our children," the statement read. The announcement confirmed what observers had suspected. Physical distance often precedes emotional separation. There were no public fights, no scandal, no sensationalized headlines, just quiet acceptance of a life shift. For a couple once celebrated for their romance and daring love gestures, it was a sober, reflective moment, yet it also underscored a profound truth. Even the strongest bonds can bend under pressure, especially when careers, geography, and life trajectories begin to diverge. Patrick Kielty has always been unafraid to push boundaries. Raised in Northern Ireland during the Troubles and having lost his father to paramilitary violence, he brings a unique emotional weight to his comedy. His humor often navigates trauma and politics with nuance and courage. Yet in late 2024, his sharp edge drew public scrutiny. During an opening segment on The Late Late Show, Patrick made a joke that many perceived as crossing a line. Sinn Féin lodged a formal complaint, calling the comment shocking and entirely inappropriate, particularly given the sensitive history of the individual involved. For someone accustomed to addressing complex issues with humor, this moment was a stark reminder of the thin line public figures tread between wit and offense. The controversy highlighted the pressures of live television, the intensity of public expectation, and the burden carried by those who have experienced personal tragedy. Patrick, who has always used comedy as a lens for understanding pain in politics, faced a rare moment of exposure, a reminder that even seasoned performers are not immune to missteps or misinterpretation. Beneath the laughter and the stage lights, Patrick Kielty's story is one of resilience and complexity. From daring gestures of love to the quiet struggles of separation, his life reflects both courage and vulnerability. The physical distance from Kat Deely mirrored emotional realities. The laughter he shared with audiences contrasted with the private loneliness of evolving circumstances. Patrick's life has always been defined by contrast. Humor against tragedy, public performance against private reflection, connection against isolation. His father's death, his upbringing in Belfast, and his experiences navigating fame have shaped not only his comedy, but his responses to life's unexpected turns. The same voice that once bridged politics, personal loss, and laughter now carries traces of tension and contemplation, a reflection of someone negotiating the complexities of love, career, and identity in the modern world. Patrick Kielty's journey is one of bold love, career triumphs, personal challenges, and quiet reflection, from a daring transatlantic gesture that sparked romance to the pressures of live television and public scrutiny. His story is cinematic in scope yet profoundly human. Despite recent struggles and a period of isolation, Patrick remains a figure of courage, wit, and resilience. He embodies the duality of life in the spotlight, the laughter shared with millions and the private battles that shape a person's path. His story reminds us that even those who seem invincible are navigating challenges unseen by the public eye. As audiences, we are left reflecting on the balance between career, family, love, and personal integrity. Patrick Kielty's legacy is not just in the laughs he created, but in the humanity he continues to reveal. Complex, bold, and quietly enduring. Even as Patrick continued to command stages and television sets, the personal challenges quietly accumulated. Fame can often be a double-edged sword. The spotlight offers recognition and opportunity, but can also intensify isolation, especially when the people closest to you are living separate lives across cities or continents. For Patrick, laughter had always been both shield and sword, a way to connect, entertain, and cope. But it could not entirely bridge the gap between public persona and private reality. Friends close to the comedian have noted that his humor, once effortless and exuberant, now sometimes carries an undercurrent of restraint. Audiences may notice sharper pauses, subtle tension, or moments where the sparkle of spontaneous wit feels weighed down by reflection. Those who have known him personally describe a man who still thrives on storytelling, but has grown more selective in what he shares, especially about his private life. Parenting, too, became a more conscious focus. With Milo and James Patrick growing older, Patrick balanced professional commitments with fatherhood, often traveling between Dublin, Belfast, and London. While the family bond remained strong, the practical realities of long-distance parenting added layers of emotional complexity. It's a reminder that even the most successful and outwardly confident figures are navigating daily challenges that the public rarely sees. Patrick's story now reflects a broader truth about modern life, that success and visibility do not immunize one from personal struggles. Rather, they highlight the quiet courage required to sustain relationships, pursue career ambitions, and maintain personal integrity in the face of constant scrutiny.